Good afternoon, everybody. Lovely to be here. My name is Jason Hawkins-Rowe from Aponic International. I'm here to talk to you about future-proofing your farming diversification with a vertical aeroponic farming system. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our company. We were started in 2005 with some ideas. We put those together and we were lucky enough to get a slot at the NIAB Innovation Hub where we did our R&D. We patented the product. And all of the parts that are made within the farm are actually British made, so we were very proud of that. It also meant they're 30 miles from my doorstep, and it was much easier for me. We ran several successful commercial trials, and throughout this we had lots of offers of help in all sorts of ways, but we've managed to keep the whole company 100% owned by the founder. I want to start by giving a couple of definitions. Hydroponic, most people have heard of. Aeroponic, not so many people have heard of. So the difference between the two is that hydroponic normally happens in an inert substrate, so a rooting medium, and that's fed with a nutrient mix, which is nutrients and water, and that's how the plants grow. With an aeroponic system, then you don't have any substrates. The roots are just growing in air, and you spray a nutrient mix onto the roots to feed the plants. So the difference between them is that with the hydroponic system, you tend to have a bit of a reduced oxygen input at the root when compared to aeroponic. Aeroponic has oxygen all around the root. So once you've got maximum oxygen absorption at the root, you can actually, in the plant, you're getting a much more efficient conversion into oils and sugars. With those oils and sugars, you're getting faster growth. With the faster growth, you're getting bigger yields. And with the bigger yields, you're getting much, much more flavor. That's the reason we chose aeroponic systems. Because of the growth efficiency and because of the real flavor that you get at the end of the product. This is one of our tubes. It has foam inserts at the front that support the stem of the plant and presents the root into the box inside. It's a double-sided tube so that we can double up the crop. The cap goes on top there, which holds a spray nozzle. The spray sprays the root zone down inside the tube. At the bottom of the tube is a return nozzle. That gets connected to a standard 40mm push-fit pipe, which returns the nutrient back to the reservoir for re-dosing. From this, we developed a truly vertical, modular growing system. It's vertical because that's space efficient. We can grow 40 plus plants in a footprint of a single plant. It's soilless because then there's no pathogens, there's no weeds, so there's no herbicide, there's no soil degradation or crop rotation to worry about. It's also a recycling system, so we're saving 95% of the water that you'd normally pour on the ground, which also means we're saving the nutrients and they're being recycled too. There's no runoff to affect biodiversity further down the line. It's a very, very low power system. We spray for 10 seconds every 20 minutes onto the roots. This means we're using 18 minutes of power a day at 12 volts. So it's a very, very simple system to run on a solar panel and a car battery and a bucket of water. We did this so as it would run off grid in any country. It's scalable, it's modular, it's light and adaptable. We can put this in almost anywhere. It's completely sustainable, so we're using less water, we're using less chemicals, and we're getting higher yields, which was the original brief of GMO. It's a very, very low input system, so we can use alternative energies, and the footprint of the farms means that the land is actually a lot cheaper. To implement this technology and make it useful to farmers, we asked ourselves two questions. 1, how do we make food more sustainable? 2, how do we make farming profitable? There is no simple answer to this. We looked at farms from all over the world and just asked how do they make money? We've got an unpredictable climate right now. We don't know which way it's going to go. We've got herbicide and pesticide resistance, which is making life difficult. We've got an ever-decreasing palette of chemicals that we can use. There's problems with seasonal growing, there's problems with seasonal labour. Subsidy goalposts are constantly changing at the moment. We've got the farming lottery is that, what are you going to get for your crop? How is it going to come? Is it even going to come out? There's prohibitive capital costs preventing new people coming in and breathing new life into the whole industry. There's droughts, there's infestations of pests, the list goes on. So realistically, what we're looking at is the problem with farming is, and the money disappears because there are too many variables. To turn this around, Aponic have taken a high-tech modular building material and made it so as we can create a completely insulated room inside a building. So it doesn't matter what condition the building is in, but it may well have stored rusty machinery for the last 30 years. With this process and this module, you can turn it into a highly productive, highly profitable part of your farm. We build these systems in 100 square meter modules. This gives you a turnkey farm ready to start farming. You can then start really truly producing sustainable food. It's clean, consistent, and predictable, which is music to supermarket buyers' ears. There's zero herbicide because there's no weeds. There's massive pesticide reduction if you use any at all, bearing in mind this is a closed environment system. There's zero runoff. We've lowered the barrier to entry for young farmers and entrepreneurs into the market. There's a 90% reduction in water usage. Most of the water comes off the roof, which is far, far better for the plants. The fuel costs and food miles are minimal. Very often you've got very local supply lines. It can be completely scalable, so you can start adding units as you need them, and you can start moving them around if you need to. It's completely modular. Whatever you can grow in one unit, you can grow exactly the same in another unit. So this actually produces food with full provenance and proper provenance, so as you can declare absolutely everything that's used in the growing of the system and be really proud of it. Now we've got complete control of all the variables, then we can start enhancing everything that we do. So we can control the environment, we can control the heat, the light, and especially the nutritional values going in. A lot of crops in the UK and Europe are seriously lacking in zinc and magnesium because they're not naturally in the soils. And we can boost all these levels. This has an effect on the plants. It makes them a lot stronger and it improves their immune system. When we eat the plants, we get the same effect too. So nowadays, people are very, very aware that the quality and benefits of the plants they're eating can be enhanced, and people are choosing that. Organic has been a leader in convincing people that actually the food you eat and the choices you make are beneficial to you further back down the line. Well, this is exactly the same system, but we can actually put an awful lot more true nutrients back into the crop. This makes the crop more valuable on the shelf as well. So, what can you grow? Well, we've got fruit, vegetables, salad crops, herbs, raw materials, medicinal plants. The list is pretty much endless, and a lot of the plants couldn't ever be grown in the UK before, but now we can grow them in their closed environment systems. We've always liked the idea that we can grow a far, far greater range in this of crops in this system, rather than just salad crops. We really like the fact that you can grow the raw materials, cotton, tobacco, and hemp. These products have been forgotten almost in time, but a lot of them can come back and be used for all sorts of scientific and raw material usage. We love the Madagascan periwinkle growing that goes on. This is used to create an alkaloid that's used in cancer treatments. The cancer treatment alkaloid is very often synthesized, and that's one of the areas that gives most side effects. The natural version is actually a lot kinder. We can have the medicinal cannabis, where we're seeing an awful lot of advances in medical usage of this. The daffodils were for an Alzheimer's treatment. If you stress a daffodil at the root, then you can produce a lot of a product called galantamine, which is very beneficial for Alzheimer's patients. They're normally planted on Welsh hillsides, but actually what we do is we stress the roots by running an ultrasonic welding rod, if I'm going to be honest, down the back of the roots. And that just stimulates the roots enough to produce extra galantamine. So with all that said, who's going to buy this particular food? Well, the retail benefits are endless. We've got much longer shelf life because it's grown in such clean conditions. You don't have the spores and things landing on the surface and spoiling the fruit. It's very differentiatable on the shelf. You've got real flavour, you've got sustainably grown, it's local, it's all these things that people are really, really looking for in supermarkets now. It's got proven health benefits, so you're actually getting a really good energy and immune boost from eating these foods. It makes it easier to supply and buy locally for the shops, and there's an awful lot of shops now looking at a local business model to get local farmers putting produce in their shops. There's no long chain logistics. We're not importing foods that would normally be imported. There's no picking before it's ripe, so you get much better flavour there as well. The sustainability of the product is right the way through its core. And in the time now where we need more food resilience and food security, this provides it absolutely exactly where we need it. So this is what sustainability means to us. It's not just in environmental terms, although it's very important, but it means it needs a sustainable business model. That means that needs to make money and it needs to be dependable for you guys as a business. So once you've taken away the variables and you've got total control, as with any business, if you've got random variables in it, it's very difficult to manage the business. With total control, you've got a straight line business. Doesn't mean there's going to be a race to the bottom on prices, because this has a very high perceived value. It's clean, fresh, and healthy. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about a sustainable business model. This is what we like about the business. We can take existing assets, we can take barns that haven't been used for 30 years, we can use potato stores that are redundant, we can use cattle sheds or pig or chicken barns. And all of a sudden they go from something which is too expensive to tear down to something which is continuously producing a really good profit for the farm. And what we're looking for here is true core market diversification. Not everybody wants to have a camping site or a farm shop on their farm. This is truly farming. It's in such a way that it offers you everything from fresh produce to pharmaceuticals. You're not going to get a saturation point with that. Food isn't going to go out of fashion. Everything needs to be produced, and it needs to be produced efficiently and well. And this is exactly how you do it. We love the idea of 365-day a year growing. It's a seasonless business. It means that you've got a full-time business. And it's not part-time jobs. It's not seasonal labour. You're not chasing people and employing them and laying them off. This benefits the local economy. It allows you to keep your own family on the farm. It gives them a business which is going to be profitable, which they can depend on too. To support our farmers, we offer courses that will help you install and run the farm and get the very best from it from the start. We also offer a software package that will help you remotely monitor the farm, and also we can remotely monitor with you so we can give you timely advice when you need it. We're really excited about using renewable energy sources. Most farms already have solar arrays, wind farms, and heat pumps. So with our low energy lighting system, that really helps to bring the costs down. Although people perceive a high energy cost, they're also excited about electric cars. So why not? Let's look at electric farms. There's incredible growth predicted in this sector. The worldwide vertical farming market was worth 1.72 billion in 2018, with experts predicting that it will rise to 9.84 billion by 2026. That's quite an amazing rise, and we've priced each module so that it's less than the price of a second-hand tractor. That represents real return on investment. In 1 to 2 years, you'll have that money back. Normally in farming, return on investment is measured in generations. This is leaps and bounds ahead. Okay, so we covered a lot of ground here, so I'm going to be now taking questions. I'm sure you've got quite a lot to ask me, and I'm more than happy to take and answer questions now. We've also got a stand here for the next 2 days, so please pop along to there. You can either talk to me one-to-one or book an appointment to talk to me later. I'd like to thank you for your attention. I hope you found it entertaining, and I look forward to speaking to you.